what I'm saying that is actually true is the fact that nobody can afford him at the
Why do
moment.
you
And
say
that's
that?
that.
People are spending money. No, they don't want him.
So
that's
that's
Atletico Madrid fans. The fans of Atletico Madrid are putting up banners that Ronaldo don't come.
That's exactly the point.
It's about
Nobody.
like you're ignoring the fact that
I'm not ignoring.
You're making your tell us just look at the fact that it costs a lot of money.
Chelsea.
Ronaldo has always cost a lot of money,
Chelsea.
and people wanted him.
Chelsea clubs.
Now they don't want him anymore.
Clubs want him.
Ooh.
That's fact.
Yo, what's good, Sangalooo FC? Your boy Shopsy back in the lineup after a few weeks hiatus. Had to do 1 or 2 life in, but we're back. And I think
family.
yeah, that's 1 or 2 stuff, yeah. But we're back in the flesh to do my thing, pop some good, you know the vibe. I think the first place we should start, obviously, is where I want to start, is the Community Shield. And did you watch the game?
Of course, I watched the game. There was no missing in Manchester City versus Liverpool.
Yeah. That's the modern or classical right now, man.
Of course. And both teams actually showed their quality. But there was something of sort of apparent for me. It was Manchester City's lack of games before that particular match, because Man City played only 2 or 3 preseason.
Yeah, but they did that. That's Manchester City's peak. Pep likes to work with his players really closely before it starts the season, and apparently that's why it starts the season. They don't tend to start.
They don't start exactly.
Whilst Klopp is a different strategy for Klopp. He works the hell out of our players during preseason. They play so many games. After the Community Shield, we played another match yesterday.
Yes.
The day after the Community Shield, we had another match and we got stumped by, I can't remember what team it was. But it was a good run out for the young lads. And back to the Community Shield, it was brilliant to see that Nunez get on the score sheet after a long preseason.
And he took his celebration personally. Like, he actually removed the shirts.
He celebrated the way Falcao, Cavani, Carlos Tevez, you know that South America.
Yeah, right. The energy, right?
All goals mean the same to him, and it was brilliant for him. I think it's big for his confidence going into the season against Manchester City. Like, that's the team he wants to deliver against. He knew the world was watching, and he did it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was obvious there was a lot of pressure on the young man's shoulders. I mean, the media gave him a lot of stick, and not even media, rival fans really came at him massively.
The failed compilations, but then it was actually ironic that it was Haaland that put up his own field compilation when it mattered more so.
We'll get there.
But still already.
Still on that with Nunez, I'd actually like to say he had a pretty good game.
I mean, let's see how it goes for the rest of the season.
Yeah, definitely. We'll be looking at how it goes. But for me, I still have a couple things to say about Manchester City. I feel like, of course, like you mentioned during the conversation, that bad start that they have, that they tend to have, at the start of the season, it might happen again this season, because of course they did not have as many games as the likes of Tottenham or Manchester United or even Liverpool, even Arsenal. They didn't have as many games as those teams. And I also feel like Haaland, as much as he bungled that opportunity against Liverpool, I feel like he will gain confidence with the smaller teams that Manchester City will face. He will see those teams, he will bully them, or let me say Man City as a team will bully them, he will get the goals, and then his confidence will build, and then we'll start to see what we expect from him.
But I also feel like, thinking about Man City bullying things, I feel like this is a transition season for Man City, because they've lost Sterling, they've lost Gabriel Jesus, they brought in a new striker, that's a big target man that they haven't played with since Pep has come to the side. And I feel like because Grealish is transitioning to really become himself, Haaland might need a few months to become himself. I think he might catch City slipping this season.
Yeah, it does look like that.
And De Bruyne's like his fitness is very so like, and
that was
Barcelona still chasing Bernardo Silva.
That was the last point I was going to touch on, and that was Kevin De Bruyne. Everything it looks like everything is going to run through Kevin De Bruyne this season, and his legs are giving out. Age is no longer on his side, and he made some mistakes in that game where I saw, and I was like, this is not really the Kevin De Bruyne of yesterday. And so those are the things that I feel like might come back to haunt Manchester City this season. And they might be caught slacking.
Question: who do you think scoring more goals this season, Darwin Nunez or Erling Haaland? This is for you guys at home as well. Come on.
I definitely think Haaland will score more goals. I think Haaland will score more goals because Liverpool have Mo Salah to do more of the scoring for them. Salah is very likely. I'm taking Salah to outscore Nunez this season, and Luis Diaz will also chip in with the goals. So it does not look. Darwin Nunez is not going to be the out-and-out point man. He's going to be the point man tactically, but he's not the only player that Liverpool will look into for goals. They have Salah, they have Luis Diaz, and he's also not sure to start every game. is there, Diogo Jota is there. But with Haaland at Manchester City, he's more likely to start, he's likely to start more games than Nunez. He's likely to be the one that will be, that all the goals will be expected to be, to be funneled through. And so,
for those reasons, those are very valid points. Based on the minutes he will play, Haaland should feast more. But I feel like with Liverpool, the chances that Liverpool create is just
enormous.
So like, look how many goals Jota scored. Jota scored 17 goals and he wasn't our main starter. And he scored that many goals and he was playing on the wing sometimes. And I feel with Liverpool, like you mentioned, Salah is the main guy, but at the end of the day, Salah led the league in assists last season. So on the Nunez team, he has the guy that was first in assists, the guy that was second in assists in Ronaldo, and the guy that was tied third in Robertson. I see how Robertson assisted him already. So the chances are just going to flow for Darwin Nunez, and all he has to do
is he going to take them?
Yeah, I feel like if he takes enough of his chances, he can score like based on Liverpool's style of play.
I'm expecting to start more than 10 actually.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like if he happens to play 38 games, I think based on the chances, whether or not he's even that good, he can score like 17 goals. But if he's really that guy, the guy I need him to be, like a Fernando Torres, a Luis Suarez, that I need him to be able to score like 25 goals just off his own merit.
This first season,
no, not his first season. I don't need him to show because I don't think he's going to get the games to do that.
Yes.
But I need him to show that he's a player that can score goals. Separate from the fact that Liverpool are going to create so many chances. Even when we don't create chances, it needs to be a guy that can score goals out of nothing. Or he's not going to be good enough. He's replacing Sadio Mane who could do those things in Champions League finals. So just being someone that you can bundle it in because Trent is going to cross 500 crosses in, it's not going to be good enough. And I'm watching it.
Definitely.
Still on the Community Shield, City's new striker bagged as well. That's gone flown under the radar. Alvarez good.
Yes. So Julian Alvarez, that's a player that many people did not. Man City did not just sign him actually. They signed him since January, and he's just come into the fold. And he looks like he has a lot of pace, and he looks like he scored the goal. He was in the right place at the right time,
and he didn't start, so he made the most of his opportunity.
That is a striker's goal, and I definitely expect to see more from him. But I expect that game time will be limited for him this season at least because of Haaland, because Foden, because Foden also tends to play centrally sometimes.
But where he can be lucky is that pace he has is what City have lost with Gabriel Jesus
and Raheem Sterling.
So the Pep might have to deploy him off the wing if he feels like he needs that pace on the counter attack. There might be space for him to strike. So yeah, it's the start of the season, and so we're still in pre-season technically, but these are when you start playing some competitive games in pre-season, and that's been the case in Germany as well, where Munich won the Cup Winners' Cup.
Yes, and Sadio Mane got his first trophy as a Bayern player.
And his first goal as a Bayern player.
His first competitive goal.
As a Bayern. So I was great to see that, as in, I love Sadio Mane, but thank God Nunez scored as well because you guys started saying, see what you missed though. You saw this guy scored.
Mane went and scored that.
Okay, they both scored, they go for the season and see how it goes.
Right.
So yeah, I'm happy for Sadio Mane there. PSG also won.
Yeah, PSG over in France, they did the business as expected against Nantes, a very good Nantes side last season who went on to
win. No Mbappe, no problem.
But Neymar stepped up to the play, scored 2, Messi scored 1.
He did delightful free kick. Both their goals were brilliant, and then Ramos scored as well.
And Sergio Ramos,
so this is what PSG fans, this is what they wanted to see. This is the dream. But obviously we know that it's the trophy with the biggest at the end of the season that they're all here for. All this is irrelevant. They can win everything else. If they don't win that, nobody cares. Do you think they can do it this season?
I feel like they can do it because they have a good manager. Someone that has come in and seems to know. He looks like he knows what he's doing.
He can manage the egos.
He looks like
the egos can stay.
As well.
Because it still starts at the season, there's that optimism, everybody's happy. But what happens when we're halfway through the season and Neymar is not really pressing well, he has to make a decision, do I drop him, we are there in the title race, and that's where it gets tricky.
He looks like a manager that won't really take nonsense actually.
Over in Italy, there's some news that I know Tele is pretending he's not happy about, but deep down he's kind of happy. He's used a couple words like what did you say? Karma, all this type of thing. But Pogba is injured and will most likely be missing the World Cup.
Yes, very unfortunate on a human, level. I'm really sorry about that. Yeah, I feel bad for him because of course, I feel bad for him, and I support France in the World Cup too. Okay. So it's a big miss. It will be a big miss for France, but for Juventus, a big miss as well. they thought they had signed, they thought they had a coup, signed him on a free transfer. But in fact, the promo video for Serie A on DSTV has Pogba's bust on there. So it was a move that was expected to happen, and just letting him hit the ground running right from the get-go. But Pogba is injured now. Seems to be a long-term injury.
I'm hurting for my boy Pogba, man.
Now it's your boy.
The Pogba move have actually gone perfectly for us neutrals who we love for Pogba. Obviously, like all of us black.
You actually love to watch.
You can't not love the way he plays football, his leadership, his charisma, like. He's one of the defining athletes of the generation. So to see him go to a team like Manchester United, it hurts our souls. As in, all of us were hurting. Like we couldn't support him again. But for him to go to Man U, underperform for Man U for 5 years, waste their time, waste their money, but also perform for France, and then go back to Juventus on a free. So United people use that money to buy Frankie. It's gone perfect, man. Pogba, you're a double agent, and you did a brilliant job.
No. But I hope that he comes back as soon as that. Actually,
he's an exciting player.
Let's see what actually happens. I want him to prove everybody wrong.
I think he will. Serie A is a slower league. It's like the way Lukaku has gone back there now, and he's going to continue scoring goals. Like the Premier League, the drama in and around the Premier League, it just gets too much from players, and they have to leave. There was another big trophy on the line over the weekend. The Women's Euro final. England beat Germany. It's finally come home, as they say. First major trophy since the 1966. First trophy for the women's side ever. History was made.
Yeah, history was made, and it was interesting to see both scorers for England come out of Manchester. The first goal scorer for England, Ella Toone, in the Manchester United.
I love how Manchester United fans are now supporters of the Manchester region.
No. It is something. Both teams did well last season, and to see Ella Toone score, and
it delightful finish. Delightful well taken finish.
Even in the semi-finals, there was a Manchester United player that scored a back heel. Alicia Russo. That was a very big goal.
And then shout out the Chloe Kelly. Like just before the win, like you could see the passion in this young girl. That she was the one hyping up the fans for the corner, and then the corner comes in and. It's a 50-50, but the desire, you can see that same desire she had at the fans to get to the first ball. Then the first ball didn't survive. Then she got to the second ball again and scored. And she just went absolutely crazy.
And talking about her passion, she had a Bobby Zamora moment.
Bro,
after the goal.
Top off, went crazy. And this is a player that's coming back from a young talented player, coming back from a year-long injury to come back to score her first international goal in the final. It's like it's stuff of superiority.
Very, very big. And kudos to their manager as well. We didn't talk about the manager of South Africa who won the AFCON, but big things happening in women's football. We're seeing women managers do great things.
Yeah, she was the Netherlands manager just before who won the Euros in 2017.
Yes. And now she's done in England.
And it was also great to see Wembley was sold out. There were 87,000 fans at Wembley.
And that is the biggest figure for any international football game.
It's the biggest. Wow.
Wembley.
I mean, that says a lot about where the sport is going, and women's football is definitely on the rise. I can see the women's Premier League getting a lot more views this season. Like, these women have become legends, and people are going to want to continue following them.
And that's something that I heard some pundits talk about, because we see a lot of massive crowd turnout for international games, but not that many people come out for the club side. So it is interesting to see. Let's see how with Premier League, with Women's Soccer League, that's the women professional football league in England. With Women's Soccer League players, coming up in the Euros and doing well, we would see if fans would want to come back to the league to see them trot their stuff. So definitely looks interesting.
So that's a wrap up on the big games that have happened in the world of football since the last time we saw you guys. Before we go, Ronaldo take escape me. So obviously, I've been keeping a very close eye on this story for you guys. As a reporter, as an upper man side,
as a hater,
everything. So I have to know that I'm a CR7 hater. When he retires, I'll give him his flowers. But for now, I'm still a CR7 hater. CR7 is He's pulling another Mingue and it's still going on. He's been running around Europe begging for some time. He's desperate to get a Champions League team. And you know what's driving this? She does not want Messi to break that record. Messi is only 15 goals behind him. This is something that Messi can potentially accomplish in just 2 seasons left at PSG. And Ronaldo can't see that happen. So right now, the man is desperate.
And so I think it's a case of just...
And it's quite shameless, to be honest.
Shameless.
If you want to play Champions League so bad, then maybe you should have performed to a level that will get Manchester United in Champions League.
I think you can't blame him for that, to be honest with you. The shortcomings of Manchester United went far beyond just Cristiano Ronaldo. The whole team, the whole squad, the entire backroom staff, everything. Nothing seemed to work perfectly well at Manchester United. But it looks like there is a building block now. I'm disappointed at the fact that he had a conversation with Erik ten Hag. Positive conversations to the point where Ten Hag actually wanted to hand him the captain's armband, right? He had those conversations and he started tweaking. So now you're talking about Messi, who is, just 15 goals shy of breaking his record. You're missing 1 season in the Champions League. Play well this season. Help Manchester United get into the Champions League next season and then play in the Champions League next season. But he does not seem to have his head screwed on.
I think it's also a thing where does he believe that? So Ronaldo has to make a business decision now. Should he wait? I'm trying to help Manchester United get the Champions League, competing against Tottenham, Chelsea, Arsenal. This is the hardest league to do that.
Yes,
or does he get out now to a team where he can coast off in an easier league now? Maybe go to a Serie A team, go to a Liga team, a Spanish team where the competition is a lot less steep to get Champions League, and then play Champions League this season.
I feel like it is easier said than done, and I promise you, no single club in the world at the moment can afford to pay Cristiano Ronaldo
because of what he brings to the table. He doesn't bring
enough
to the table.
Nobody can afford to pay it at the moment, and if it were possible, I promise you, it would have happened. Ted Bully was ready to to drop the bar, but Ronaldo's demands are far too great for any club in the world post-COVID, to afford. So
and it's not post his peak. Like players are getting 5. The money he's asking for, their players in the world getting it. But it's just Ronaldo does not give. No, then back in the day where Ronaldo was a
there are not many players.
I feel like
that amount.
Yeah, I know
those
post-COVID
have to be exceptional.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I feel like Ronaldo, when Ronaldo was Ronaldo, and he could guarantee a goal a game, whether it's COVID or whether it's apocalypse. So these guys who find that money to pay Ronaldo,
right.
It's because the level of performances are no longer at that level. It's like, how do I justify spending this amount of money on this player?
I beg to differ on that front because Ronaldo now has been transformed into an out-and-out 9. We see.
But the numbers, Ronaldo was a goal a game every competition.
He scored 20 goals last season.
That's easily Ronaldo's worst season. That's easily his worst season.
But that
the numbers have gone down.
But that is in a Manchester United.
You think Ronaldo can still give someone a goal a game?
That is in a Manchester United squad.
You think Ronaldo can still give somebody a goal a game?
That is in a Manchester United squad that was not all that great. In Juventus, before he came to Manchester United, he still bagging goals.
Not like he was when he was peaking.
But
he was bagging for a normal person.
But that is
not like what he was doing before. And before they were paying him for extraordinary
performances. For a
exactly. So now he's performing like a normal 37-year-old player. We don't
what
pay normal.
A normal 37-year-old player?
He's performing like a good striker, an aging striker, and that's not worth 500k. That's just the fact of the matter. But when Ronaldo was Cristiano Ronaldo and he was scoring a goal a game, that was worth 500k.
Calm down. You're not looking at it from the other aspect of things because Ronaldo is a package now, and football has become that. He's a brand on his own, and I was
we're talking somebody would have signed him, bro.
No, what I'm saying that is actually true is the fact that nobody can afford him at the moment.
And that people are spending money now.
Nobody can afford Ronaldo.
First of all, the amount they are going to spend on Ronaldo to sign him with a year on his contract, considering you guys just bought for 20 million. To sign Ronaldo now, you're not spending more than 20 million with a year on his contract. So first of all, that means the money to go to his wages are there. Did you see? People are spending money to go to his wages. Yes, if you spend only 10 million to buy Ronaldo, where do you think the rest of the money is going to go?
We're talking no less than 50 million a year on Ronaldo. And that's fair. Like, that's even very low. Like, Ronaldo, you'll be paying like 60 to 80 million for Ronaldo a year.
How much do you think De Bruyne is earning? De Bruyne is earning over 400k. Sterling, I think, yes. And that's guys are earning that money. Mbappe is earning that money. Messi and Neymar are earning that money.
You name 10 players that are earning that
maybe
amount.
Not 10.
Exactly.
But maybe not 10. But what Ronaldo earning at Man U?
450k or almost 500. About 500.
I think if Ronaldo was performing at Mbappe levels, No, I'm giving him 500k.
But you cannot expect Ronaldo to perform at Mbappe levels at 37.
Then you should not expect anyone to. Then he should stay and play Europa.
So that's the point that we're saying. That's the point that we're making. He's trying to move, but nobody can afford him at the moment.
Nobody wants him. I feel like by saying nobody can afford him, I feel like you're making it look as if we had the money, we would have got him. But it's like nobody wants to. They don't want him. So that's look at Atletico Madrid fans. The fans of Atletico Madrid are putting up banners that Ronaldo will come.
That's exactly the point.
It's about nobody. I feel like you're ignoring the fact that.
I'm not ignoring
it. You're telling us just look at the fact that it costs a lot of money. Ronaldo has always cost a lot of money. And people wanted him.
Clubs.
Now they don't want him.
Clubs want him.
That's fact. Who wants Ronaldo?
Cannot afford Ronaldo.
No, that's
I feel like we should leave that up.
That's cap.
What do you think? Do you think clubs?
It's not up to the fans. It's up to the news now. Nobody wants Ronaldo.
It's not like that.
It's not argument. Nobody wants it.
If you think that clubs can afford Ronaldo, let us know what you think. I for one think that clubs cannot actually afford Ronaldo. Manchester United are paying through their teeth at the moment to keep Ronaldo on the books, and of course it's paying dividends commercially. It paid dividends with the amount of goals he scored for us last season. He single-handedly helped us to the position that we finished last season, with his goals. And so Ronaldo simply is too big a player for many of these clubs to afford at the moment, especially post-COVID. And
I feel like the teams that can't afford Ronaldo are so the teams that just have this money are like Man City, PSG, Manchester United is already there, Barcelona is spending money anyhow. But Real Madrid spend a lot of money. But all these teams, they're not going to have a 37-year-old in their line that can't press. Like, why would they do that? So that's why Ronaldo is just stuck. The teams that might, be happy enough to have Ronaldo at this age are like, maybe like Sporting, Sevilla. Those are the ones that can't afford him. But the guys that have the money to afford him don't want to spend the money.
And that's interesting. We're hearing actually that Ronaldo and his agent are in talks with Sporting.
That's where he has to go. And he has to go there and take a massive pay cut. That's probably the best move for his career here. Make it like a going back.
It's funny how you're saying you're trying to push an agenda, but you're still agreeing with what I'm saying. Like nobody can afford Ronaldo at the moment.
People can afford it. Stop saying that. PSG can afford it.
Nobody can afford it.
That's a lie.
Nobody can afford it.
PSG are playing 3 players.
Actually, nobody.
PSG are literally paying.
If they could afford him, they would have added him to 3 players.
Because he's not good enough.
Exactly what I'm saying.
He's not good enough.
That's a lie.
He's not good enough.
That's
anymore.
That's actually.
I can still tell you Ronaldo is as good as he was when they were paying him 500.
Nobody said Ronaldo is as good as he was, but Ronaldo is good enough to earn 500k at the top.
With 18 goals,
he's good
18
enough.
goals, you're going to pay a guy 500k to score 18 goals.
How many goals did Messi score last season? How many league goals did Messi score last
season? So Messi should go. That's why Messi should go.
Are they still paying him or not?
Because he's on the contract. And you guys are still going to continue paying Ronaldo because you have already started paying him. But nobody's going to call Messi now and say, Messi, you just scored 3 goals. Let me give you 600.
Because nobody can afford it.
No, because it's not good enough.
Because nobody can afford
Messi
it.
And Ronaldo, both of them, are not performing at levels where they should be highest paid footballers in the world again. That's just a fact. And I'm a Messi stan. The job that even if you have the money, it is bad business. You can't pay Messi or Ronaldo that they're not on that level again.
It's just a fact. I feel like that's the mistake that you're making. Football has become a sport where it's not only about what they play on the pitch anymore. Imagine a Messi, coming on your preseason tour. The number of brands that will come and pay you cheddar just to have Messi come into their space and just show up for fans. Those are the members.
Messi leaves PSG. He has to go to Argentina or somewhere. Has to go back.
Those are the numbers that actually matter these days, especially with football going into just a profit-driven, becoming a majorly a profit-driven enterprise. So those are the things that actually matter. Ronaldo, and that's my take, and that's where I'll end it. Ronaldo, nobody in the world at the moment can afford Ronaldo, and that's it.
Because nobody can afford Ronaldo if he's only scoring 18 goals. If Ronaldo was scoring 50 goals, they would have afforded it. It's just that football, you guys are liars. Barcelona have been saying they don't have money for how long? So the players they've signed this season. The money is there. Don't let your clubs deceive you.
How many of them did they sign and they paid like astronomical
Barca, they're paying them their wages though. All of them are not astronomical, but they're all earning competitive wages.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
But they said
and when you say
competitive
competitive wages, you're talking
like Lewandowski didn't take it. No, Lewandowski didn't take a pay cut.
200.
No, Lewandowski didn't take a pay cut. He's still
150, 200.
no, Barca was like 300k.
Only Lewandowski. How much is Rafinha?
Supposed to be like
How much is Rafinha? How much is
should be-
Kessie? Those are the people you should look at. When one player just
They pay
stands
their
out
wages.
of others, that's different. And that's Lewandowski. How much is
So I can't tell me that
How much is Rafinha
I
earning?
can't tell Barcelona these their transfer dealings don't make you think that
No.
they're hiding funds.
Nah.
They're hiding funds. They can't pay Frankie De Jong 17 million and they're signing players for like 50 million. That's what's their line.
That's
now.
another fraudulent business.
All of them are doing the same thing. They have the money, they're lying.
Yeah. But yeah, let's wrap it up. I mean, we've had quite.
So yeah, you guys let us know your thoughts. Fans of other clubs, let us know if you would like your club to sign Ronaldo. Let us know if Ronaldo, you would like Ronaldo to be.
Let us know if your club can afford Ronaldo.
And if your club could afford Ronaldo, would you? If your club had 10 million and then
If
the
wishes
money
were
goes
horses,
would
if
you want
wishes were
Ronaldo?
horses, beggars would ride.
I don't think.
If you could afford him,
Would you sign it? Let us know in the comments. Let us know
But
who
you
you think
cannot
is going to
afford
score more, than Nunez or
Haaland.
Haaland.
And of course, do not forget, Rep Your Club still coming up. And interestingly, we're moving into an interesting new format coming up. With episodes that are coming soon. We have something
Keep your eyes
interesting
peeled for that.
for you guys.